Good morning, everyone. I appreciate you all coming on board, and it's been a trying time for us this last month to 6 weeks. I don't remember how long, but I'm getting a little, what do you call when you get isolated in your house for a while? I can only walk so many times out in my yard and down my driveway and back into the house. And I've been spending an awful lot of time in my office. You just shared a screen on what we're actually going to be, just a short synopsis. You can see I got the biggest talking part, but I wanted to outline what we've done in the last couple weeks. And I wanted to thank, we'll start on my remarks right now. I wanted to thank Amy Balicki and Reagan Deck for their work on this Unmasked Superheroes project, where we're buying 10,000 KN95 masks, which are the same as the N95 mask, or an equivalent that has been approved by CDC and FDA. And we've ordered 10,000 of those that are supposed to come in on the 20th. And then we've also ordered 6,000 surgical masks that are going to be in that same distribution. As of this morning, we've had 26 clubs out of 39 contribute to the masks and the project we're going, and that seems to be working real good. But if your club is not, we would appreciate a club contribution so we could cover this project and then have some available left if another opportunity. Because right now we're looking at the possibility of buying some gowns, because that's in short supply also. But we need to do a little checking with our supplier and our distributor to make sure what level of protection these gowns are, and make sure they're definitely what's needed for our healthcare workers. I think this is a good way for us to help our communities, and we're working on the distribution and logistics. And I want to thank Reagan for that. Reagan has really worked hard on going to each one of our healthcare facilities to finding out how many beds they have there, and where that need is, so we can give a distribution of masks to every healthcare facility in our district. So there should not be one healthcare facility in our district that will not get part of this distribution. And if you have any questions as we go through this, please put them in the chat side, and we'll look at those at the end of my hopefully short presentation. The next thing we have on there is I want to thank John Nanny, our Rise Against Hunger ambassador, and our president of the MOT Club in Middletown. You know, Rise Against Hunger, he had a big event going on in Middletown, and I had an event that I was going to do at my district conference. All those were canceled because of the crisis. Well, now Rise Against Hunger is sitting on all this rice up in their Philadelphia warehouse. Well, the district has bought a pallet to go to the Delaware Food Bank. I think Jerry Biltnell, the Wilmington Club, has actually purchased a pallet to go to the Salvation Army, and John's Club and the Southern Newcastle Club and Our Daily Bread contributed and bought a pallet to go to the Salvation Army. So if you have anybody that might have, the problem with this is a pallet is 42 50-pound bags of rice. So that's 2,100 pounds of, that's a lot of rice. And not many organizations can handle that at one time, especially the size being at 50 pounds. I talked to the Maryland Food Bank, and they could not do that because a lot of the kitchens are closed in the pantry, the meal making places. But if you know anybody, please reach out to John Nanny or me, and we'd be glad to line you up to get that taken care of. This coming Saturday, this will be something new for our district. We're going to do an online Zoom virtual training for the district grant seminar. if you are planning to do a district grant next year, then you need to have 2 of your members attend. And that'll be Saturday, the 18th at 10 o'clock. Should be from 10 to maybe 11:30, something like that. So Robin Broomall will be doing a PowerPoint, and we'll be going through the training that way. As we're talking about district grants, we had about 16 grants in this year, my year as district governor. A couple of them have been completed, but we needed to know whether those grants could be completed on a timely basis because of the shutdown. And if not, we offered an extension up until September 15th. So some of the clubs have put in for extensions. I think 2 clubs could not do their project because of the shutdown with the schools and all the other organizations that had happened. But there are some that are going to be able to complete it by the June 1st. There will be no change for next year's district grants. They have to be in by June 1st, and you need 2 members. District conference and district assembly, both of those have been postponed. Steve Capelli's on the phone, on the conference call too, or the Zoom meeting today. I'm hoping that I can still pull off a 1-day district conference. Probably not going to be until June at the earliest at this point. But I did not want to cancel until the last possible moment, so I'll keep you informed on that. And I know Steve's going to have some time later if he wants to talk about his district assembly and his training. Has anybody noticed, you should be getting some emails from DACDB, or I know the leadership is, they're doing training, because a lot of training here in the last 6 weeks, be it everybody being locked down. But there's a secretary's training that's coming next on the 17th, which is this week on Friday. If any of your secretaries might want to be interested in coming, or anybody within your club would like to do that, that training is available. It's 10 sessions. They're 30 minutes apiece. And that starts at, I think, 7 or 8 a.m. If you'd like that information, we can get that from Susan Reeves, or you can put something in the chat box. Attendance. A lot of people have asked me about perfect attendance. Even though Rotary has limited your requirement, a lot of people have years and years of perfect attendance, including myself. And canceled meetings does not count against your perfect attendance. But we do ask you to make up. There's plenty of e-clubs. We have plenty of club meetings that are done by Zoom. Hugh Dawkins has been very, very good about setting those up, and we're trying to put those on the DACDB calendar. I was a part of a Brandywine Naaman's last week, and I was their speaker. So I was sitting in my office in my house, and I was their speaker for their meeting last Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday. So keep that in mind. There's plenty of ways to make up. The key part is to reach out to your club members, make sure everybody is okay, still try to stay connected with your membership, and see where the opportunities are where you might be able to help your community, either by volunteering or something that we can do to make this transition and this lockdown be a little better, because it's going to be a long time before we're back to normal, and it will not be the same normal as we've had in the past. Flags for Heroes. There's been a lot of discussion about Flags for Heroes and what we're going to do about it. Moving dates. Do we want to do it at all? But I think, to me, this is my opinion, and you and your clubs can do what you want. But my opinion is this is an opportunity for us to say thanks to our healthcare workers and our first responders. we can put those flags out as show the appreciation from our district to those that are helping us through this crisis. But I'm going to leave that up to each club to do it ourselves. I'm going to reach out to the clubs in the Salisbury area. We put out 500 flags out by Purdue Stadium. I'm going to ask them if they could put those, we want to put those out to celebrate our PRMC and all the first responders that have helped in this crisis we're having right now. So think about that. And just think it might not, we're going to lose money on that. Probably we're not going to make as much donations as we have in the past, but it's not about the money. It's about our opportunity to say thanks for what we have here in our cities, our communities, and even in the United States, our freedom. And what those people are putting on the line every day to keep us safe. You hear those stories. Sometimes you feel like you don't even watch TV anymore because there's never any good news. But there's those healthcare workers that go to work every day to make us safe. So this is our opportunity. Volunteer opportunities. I've been volunteering at the Maryland Food Bank. Now they are really strict on their social distancing part of that. We only have 2 or 3 at any one spot within the food bank. So if you have an opportunity with the Delaware Food Bank or Maryland Food Bank, or even at some of these food pantries that help give away food, but you got to feel safe. If you do not feel safe about doing that, then don't do it. It's up to you. I'm also a blood giver, blood donor. I had given blood just before this crisis happened. And I think my next appointment is not until May. But if you have an opportunity with the Delmarva Blood Bank or the Red Cross to give blood, they would love to have the opportunity for a blood donation. Let's see. Hopefully we'll get to the point where District Governor-elect Steve Capelli will have an installation as being your new district governor at the end of June. Hopefully we're back to that point. But what I would like to do at that same opportunity is to celebrate what the clubs have done this year. So we have put out in the Rotary reminders about to give me a club report on what you have done this year. I know it did not reach its full capacity because of the lockdown. But this is an opportunity for me to say thank you for the clubs for what you did get accomplished this year. And these reports need to go to the AGs by May 31st. And then they will go to my Lieutenant Governor, Bob Smith, and we will put together a presentation at Steve Capelli's installation as district governor in June, hopefully. Financial forecast. I talked to John Mauger, our treasurer, and with the district shut down, me not traveling as much and no meetings, we're going to have a pretty good balance in our bank account at the end of the year. So there should be a pretty good credit going forward for district dues. So we've already done a preliminary calculation, and so just to keep you in the loop, to let you know that there could be a $15 or more credit per member for next year, but we will work on that as we get closer to year end. That's all I had from my talk. Do we have anything in let's see, we got a few chats here. Can you take that off the screen now? There you go. Yeah, I can email the agenda. Meals on Wheels. Yeah, I don't know.
I just put that one up as a possibility of a place that is still cooking and could be looking for.
Yeah, that's a good point, I can reach out, but I'm not sure where.
I
I'll
think
see
if
what
we
I can do on that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, we
We'll
reached
reach
out to our
out. I'll look
local
at
and they
all
can
these.
tell us.
Yeah, I'll look at all these as Bob Smith. Bob Smith, I'm going to give him, we need to limit his time use. So I want to give him no more than 5 minutes. And hopefully he's 2 or 3 minutes and then we'll cut him off. Bob, how are you doing in Virginia?
Hi, how you doing? The only thing that I have on my screen right now, it says your internet connection is unstable. I don't know what that means, but can everybody hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you, Bob.
Good. I don't need the 5 minutes, but what I'd like to say is that the end of the year report is very important to us and we'd like to put something together. Now, the only comment that I have, because I think Bill covered it very well, is that you don't have to wait until May 31st to get that report to your AGs, and so that the AGs can get them to me in a timely fashion. If you want to do those reports while everybody's at home, and that you're bored to death with everything else and you'd like to do a report, please go ahead and start on those if you haven't already and get those in to the AGs so that the AGs can get them to me timely. The last comment that I have is I heard from one of my friends that I was in the Army with. I told this to Bill the other day. I'll repeat it to you guys. He sent me a text message saying that he was so bored to death that he went outside of his house, knocked on the door, then came back inside and said, "Who's there?" Other than that, thank you very much, and everybody please stay safe.
Thank you, Bob. All right, DGE, Steve Capelli. You done mute yourself. There you go.
I did. I unmuted him.
Okay. I just wanted to point out that if you didn't remember, the installation will be Sunday, June 28th at 12 o'clock at the Ward Museum for Wild Art in Salisbury. So that's when the installation will be, and maybe the district conference and everything else, right, Bill?
All right.
We can do it all in one day if we have to.
Yeah, we can do it.
So I pretty much believe that by June 28th, we ought to be able to do that, but who knows? It's scheduled and I'm not changing it unless we find out differently that things are if things aren't getting better, I guess we'll figure out another way to do it. But that's what I have so far. And I have some information for the PEs. Are we going to do that during this or are we going to do it later, Bill? Is that going to be another meeting, the PE meeting?
What was that, Steve?
The PE meeting, are they on the line or are we
They're
just?
all on the line here. The PE, the presidents and president-elects were invited to this meeting. So you could have the PEs here on the meeting, which is why I asked for the names and the club. So I would know how many PEs were on the club or on the call.
So I have some information for the PEs if you want me to give that now.
Yeah.
Or okay.
I would, Steve. Yeah.
For all the president-elects, sorry we're not going to be able to get together this morning in face-to-face like we usually do. I've talked to Rob Hemmon, our district trainer, and he'll be doing the district assembly. I'm not sure at this point whether we'll do it. We'll try to do that on Zoom, and whether we'll do it in 1 hour sessions or an hour and a half sessions. It's usually a 3-hour training. So we're going to figure that out as soon as I get with Rob and see what he wants to do with it. But we will do that on Zoom if soon. If you'd like to give me some feedback on what night of the week or afternoon, 4:30, 5:30, whatever time of the day you'd like to do it, I'd like to be working with you on that. We can do it 1, 2, or 3 weeks in a row, trying to get the time in. I think a 3-hour Zoom might be a little much. So maybe if we break it down into a couple of sessions or 3 sessions it might be a better training session for us. That way we might get more feedback and questions and answers at that point. But I would encourage you all to continue to build your teams, to finalize your 2021 budget as you're working at this point, and to plan your own installation. You should be working on that and deciding when that's going to happen, where it's going to happen, and what your clubs are going to do for you there. And I would also encourage you to develop a calendar of events for your year. What are you going to be doing during your year? And when are they going to be held and where, and that type of thing. Get your committees together, and if you can, or at least talk to your chairs and see work. And I think Bill already talked about the, there's a DAC-DB Care and Concerns 20-minute webinar at 3:30 today. You might want to jump onto that and see what that looks like. And like I said, the Zoom assembly, we'll be looking at that and try to figure out when that happens. So there's a lot of things we need to do, but we'll just have to do them the best way we can with the Zoom until we get together again. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you all again. I enjoyed meeting you at Chantilly. That was a nice event. Appreciated all your fun. I had a good time in the hospitality room with you.
We drank all the bourbon.
Yeah, that went away very quickly.
All right,
That
thank you,
means I
Steve.
need to have more bourbon next year, right?
That's right, that's right. You need to get more bourbon. That's exactly right. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
This is a different, I'm not sure I'm getting comfortable with what's going on, but it is what is needed for us to get through this. So I appreciate all your patience, and if you have any concerns, I'm available. Call me on my cell, send me an email, whatever. Thanks, John. I appreciate that. I'm going to pass it on to you, and then I think Cliff is on the line. Cliff Berg, our district governor nominee designate. He was trying to log on. I don't know whether he got on or not.
If he
you-
might be on the phone.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right. Just a couple of
got anything?
things. Thank you, Bill. Just a couple of things for everybody. The district does have this Zoom, and we are trying to share it, but also we're encouraging areas or even clubs to use the Rotary discount and either sign up for a few months or even a year, because a year is only about $120. And if you do it with a group, with a area group, that's not very much for a club. 2 or 3 quick things. I really encourage you to look at the district website each week and look at the multi-district area, because zones 33 and 34 have a Zoom meeting every Friday morning at 7:30, and then repeat the same basic content on Monday at noon. They have been extremely interesting. We've had past RI presidents on for cameo performances and a variety of things, and it's also a good communication link. So that is a way to continue to share that with your club. On Monday, we had just over 200 people, I think, on the call. So it was really great to have that, because it started out with just the district governor chain, which was only about 90 people for zones 33 and 34. Each of the clubs, if you have your president nominee, meaning that person that's going to be president in 21-22, if you would please email me that name, and also try to make sure that it is up to date in your DAC-DB. That would be great for us, because I'm trying to start a little bit of work. Actually, the president nominees, or excuse me, the district governor nominees have a meeting tomorrow to work on our program for Chantilly. So we are moving forward because Rotarians are people of action, and we do believe in service above self. The other thing that I had was that there are a number of people that have signed in through their phones. I started early, taking a little bit of a roll. People gave their names, but we've gotten quite a few. So anybody that signed in, logged in through a phone and just has a phone up, if you would please email your name to and club to Bill so that he has a better roster of the 43 people that are on this call. We have 43 on right now, Bill. Those are the main things. Again, if your club is interested in trying to use the district Zoom, please contact me. My name and number are in the weekly newsletter that comes out from Susan. But my phone number, the easiest one to get me, is at 410-310-2997. As I mentioned earlier at the beginning, this meeting is being recorded, and we will get it converted and uploaded to YouTube, and then Susan will be able to share that connection so that club presidents and president-elects and other leadership members of our clubs could take a few minutes and watch it and get the information that Bill has been sharing. So thank you, Bill.
Okay, thank you. You appreciate you working with the Zoom. He's been our Zoom coordinator without everything else he's got going on. But we're trying to keep that organized and scheduled, since we can only have one Zoom meeting at a time at this point. And we're trying to put that information on DACDB. So if you're interested in attending a club meeting, you can look on DACDB, and I know the clubs would welcome you to be a visitor at their meeting. It's pretty interesting how we have evolved into doing these meetings. So Cliff, or if you're on the phone, we would like to give you a few minutes if you have anything you need to mention to the president, president-elects, and honored guests.
Cliff, you can unmute your own phone. I don't know your number, so I can't pick out which phone it is. What's his last 4 digits, Bill?
I don't have to look it up.
Oh, okay.
Let me look it up real fast. Uh, 2127 302
2127 2127. Cliff, you should
Thank
now
you.
be
Yes.
unmuted.
Can you hear me? Yes. Okay.
Now,
Yeah,
now we
gotcha.
can. Yep.
All right,
Gotcha.
thank you. I just have one thing to add, Bill, and the rest of the group. As the president of Ocean City, but also in a leadership role here, I would also, while you're filling out your accomplishments that Bill wants, it's a great time to also go into My Rotary and update your goals and what you've completed there. So we will still obviously be giving out presidential citations and other awards from the Rotary Foundation probably this coming fall. So take that opportunity to go in there and update that as you go along as well. Sometimes I think we just forget to do it, and now's a great time while you're sitting home and you're also trying to figure out and fill out Bill's form that he needs for the end of the year. So would encourage you to do that. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Cliff. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I had that on my list, and you know what happens when you make a list. If you don't look at it, then you forget. Cliff made a good point about awards and special recognition. I mean, this has really been a trying time this year. And I know there's been some clubs and some members within our district that have gone beyond what they should have done or what they normally would do to help us through that. And I'm looking for the district to let me know who that is. Whether you feel it's your club or if it's an individual member within our district that you think went beyond the call of duty this year, I want to know about it. And I've already got a couple on my radar that, because of being district governor, I hear a lot of things about what's going on in our district. But I need others to help me that maybe I haven't heard what they're doing behind the scenes. So let me know, send me an email, text me, call me, I don't care. I'm available. Let me know. And I really want to stress on my AGs. You're my ears in your area. Help me find those unsung heroes that has helped us through this trying time. Let's see. Open discussion. Does anybody have any particular, you can do your reaction at the bottom, put your hand up and we can unmute you. You can ask a question, or I can go through we'll see if there's any questions in the chat. Does anybody?
While Bill's looking at the chat, if you do, you could actually unmute yourself and ask a question.
Yeah, ask a question.
Bill?
Yep. Yeah,
Um,
Marie.
Will, for those PEs and presidents who are not in attendance on Zoom, could the minutes go out under a separate email to all current presidents and PEs? The minutes of this meeting.
Oh.
You've said much will impact all of them, and some of them couldn't make it because of work and all.
It's being recorded, right? We can put that so they can have the availability to listen to it at a later date, a later time. We can let them know that. We can send that out to the president and president-elects. If you couldn't attend, here's where they can listen to it.
That'd be great.
Yep.
Thank
Yep.
you.
John, I saw
John?
your hand go up.
Yeah, John. Unmute, John.
No, I just
There you go.
have to leave for Meals on Wheels. Everyone have a great and be safe.
Okay. Thank you, John. Anybody else? Now, we're really working hard on this masks and looking at gowns, and the distribution is going to be outstanding. And I want to thank again Reagan and Amy for their work on that. Reagan's done a lot of work on the logistics. When we deliver these masks, we're not sure how that's going to work, but we'll try to take a picture so we can get some press on that for what we're doing in our community. I did talk to a reporter for the Delaware State News, so there could be a article in this week's paper about what we're doing within our community for this project. So that worked pretty good, and so hopefully we can do other things. You know, if something comes along you think we could have an interest in, let me know. We can always put it in Rotary reminders. I mean, there's many organizations that are making masks. I mean, not just for the healthcare workers, but for us. If we go outside, I mean, there's a lot of people doing things behind the scenes. So we just need to know about that. And I want to thank everybody for what they're doing within their district. This is a great opportunity for me to see some familiar faces that I haven't been able to see in person. But hopefully this thing will get behind us, make us stronger. If you noticed, if you've seen a lot of my emails, I'm putting on there, Be Rotary Strong. And I think we're showing some resilience now as we go forward. And I appreciate everything you're doing. Keep your members involved, stay in touch with your members, and be safe is the most critical point. Do we have anything else before we close for the day? Okay,
We all just continue to say, remember, service above self, and Rotarians are people of action.
that's exactly right. And thank you so much for attending this meeting this morning, and all be safe, okay? Thank you.
Definitely. Please, everybody be safe. Be glad to talk to you again real soon.
Yep, thank you.
I'm stopping the
strong.
recording.
Thank you, you.